Welcome back to the Untouchaballs podcast. Caden and Evan here with another MLB video for you guys. And today we're going to talk about a bunch of offseason moves that we'd missed, hadn't covered yet, and some of the more recent ones as well. We're going to start off with the Toronto Blue Jays, that they've made a good plethora of moves in the last couple of weeks. We'll start with the biggest one, obviously. Anthony Santander, 5 years, $92.5 million, to now be a cornerstone middle-of-the-order bat for the Jays. What are your thoughts on this one, Dwyer?
For the Jays, it's risky because you don't have your main guy in Vladdy locked up, but I do like the move. I think that if they are able to keep Vladdy on the roster, I think that Santander is a great a great supporting piece for that team. I think him and Vladdy next to each other, a 3-4 lineup is disgusting.
Yeah, look at it. Because, I mean, you have to expect, there's no way Bo is going to be as bad as he was last year. Like, he's a much better hitter than what we saw last season. That you have him in his normal, leadoff two-hole spot. You could maybe throw Jimenez, who you traded for, put him in the leadoff, depending on what you see with his bat. And then, you have, that Bo, Santander, Vladdy, 2, 3, 4. And that's a great part of the lineup. Obviously, it's a walk year for Bo, so who knows what you're going to do with him. You still have to extend Vladdy. But it seems like with this move to adding to the lineup, they're still trying to compete now in a very tough AL East. That they want to be able to still compete, try to make the playoffs. They think at least last year was more of a fluke than kind of more of reality, and they want to get back to what we've seen with them choking in the playoffs the last handful of years.
For sure. I mean, this year they're trying to show their superstars why they should stay. Mm-hmm. Their whole future is really around Vladdy and Bo, and could they sign both of them? I don't know. Do you think there's a chance that they could keep both of them?
If their owner wants to shell out a bunch of money, it's possible. Because unless Bo has an injury-riddled season or something as bad as last year, he's going to be making probably at least $150. And then you have Vladdy, who's $400.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so, easily $400.
Yeah, easily $400. So it'll come down to be really, is their owner going to want to spend all that money to try to keep this core together? Or do they think, I think your priority obviously needs to be Vlad. You need to retain him. He's easily the best player on your team, one of the best probably the top first baseman in the league. And you need him in your lineup and playing first base for you every day. So he's more of a priority than Bo. So I think they could find a way to replace him at short, maybe move Jimenez over there and use other guys at second. Mm-hmm. And then just let Bo walk and try to go from there. But Vlad has to be the priority. And when you have Santander coming for these next 5 years after he just had a career year, 44 home runs, switch hitter, has a lot of pop. They want to be a big powerful lineup here at the front.
For sure. I mean, that definitely bolstered their lineup. And still there's question marks about this lineup, how good, how deep are they?
Deepness is definitely a question. The back half is pretty weak compared to that studded front half.
For sure. I wanted to ask you because I believe it was Harold Reynolds on MLB Network. He was talking about it, and he said it'd be interesting if the Jays went after Bregman, they went and signed him and traded Vladdy and got prospects to start rebuilding their future, but still going after it. I'm assuming you don't like it.
Why? That doesn't make any sense.
I mean, I was thinking, I'm
so much better than Bregman.
Oh, for sure.
And why would you want to shell out $150 million on Bregman over 5-6 years?
I agree.
If you're gonna trade Vlad anyways.
I agree. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to see his side of it. I mean, you're still a good team. I mean, you lose Vlad, your bat's gonna hurt. They
were bad last year.
Oh, really bad. But you look at they added Scherzer. If that's a healthy rotation, that rotation.
This is the next guy we'll talk about. So as of today, as we're recording this on Thursday night, Max Scherzer signed a 1-year, $15.5 million contract to be with the Blue Jays this year. What are your thoughts on this one? Because it's a little interesting.
I mean, his metrics him from last year. I mean, it was a very low sample size, but it was good. I mean, it'd be interesting. I don't know how many innings you could really expect from him. Maybe 120, maybe somewhere around that area, give or take. But I mean, with this addition, and if he pitches well, like if he's your number 3 or 4, like I think that they have a borderline, maybe top 10 rotation in baseball. Maybe it's definitely top half. It's definitely above.
It's an above average
like,
rotation, I'd say.
Yeah, it's an above average. Like it plays in the NL, in the AL East, but like it'll be interesting. Like if they stay healthy, first of all. I mean, there's a lot of glass arms there.
They might have the worst rotation in the AL East.
No, the Orioles don't.
It's between them and the Orioles.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. I guess. Yeah, I mean that's for a different episode. I'm trying to think. Like, I mean, like you look at the Yankees, and it isn't like they're very deep in their rotation, but
their rotation's very good.
After Fried, Gill,
Cole.
and Cole, who's after that?
Rodon, who is still a good pitcher. You saw what he did in the playoffs last year. He shoved. His strikeout numbers are still there. And after that awful first season, especially the back half of last season, he pitched really well.
Fair. Well,
I mean,
maybe I'm just a Jays believer. I don't know. I think this is the squad. They got Barrios, Gosman. I'm a big, actually, all jokes aside, I'm a big Batum Francis fan. Like I can see this guy becoming an all-star next year.
Stoner is gonna love that.
Oh, dude. I mean, like you saw his back half. His back half was nasty, man. And like, if he could build off what he did those last like 6 or 7 starts, like God, dude, he's gonna be a monster. He could be the potential ace next year if you're talking like if he takes that next step up. I mean, like, how old's Gosman? He's about 33, 34.
I think around there, yeah. And he's
so
still
like
really good.
Oh, he's still solid.
One of the grossest splitters in the entire MLB.
100%. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Him. Gosman,
and Barrios are a really good one too.
And then you got Francis, and now you add Scherzer. Like those are your 4. That's a solid, really good 4.
And the last move we're going to talk about here for the Jays is they signed Jeff Hoffman. He had those 2 elite seasons in the bullpen for the Phillies after being a starter for most of his career. Rockies legend, by the way, Jeff Hoffman. And now the Blue Jays signed him, and he's going to, at least they're looking like he's going to try to transition back into that starting role. So he's going to be at least starting the season, it looks like, in the rotation for the Jays, trying to see if he can capture the magic he found in the pen, except for the playoffs against the Mets. But besides that, he was elite out of the pen, especially last year at that sub-2 ERA, just looking absolutely filthy. I mean, if he can translate that to the... I know it'll be obviously different when you're throwing 5 innings instead of 1, just throwing your best stuff every pitch. Mm-hmm. But if he can have he's only getting paid $11 million a year. Give him a 3.5 to 3.80 ERA, and that's a really good back end of your rotation guy you throw there with Scherzer.
How old is he?
Jeff Hoffman. He is, because I know he's 32. He just turned 30. He just turned 32 a couple weeks ago.
Has he attempted being a starter in the last 5 years?
The last time Mr. Jeff Hoffman was a starter was in 2021, kind of. Yeah, he started 11 games in 2021 in 31 appearances. And before that, it was 2019 back with the Rockies where he had 15 starts and 15 appearances.
He wasn't very good in those, was he?
Oh, he was awful with the Rockies. Rockies legend, though, because we had him for a while. He occasionally would throw a good game here or there, but it's also insanely hard, as everyone knows, to pitch in Coors.
True, that is very true.
As a starter, he never found much success.
Yeah.
And these last 2 years with the Phillies, 2.41 ERA in 52 innings at 23, and last year in 66 innings at 2.17 ERA. His strikeout numbers 89 Ks last year in those 66 innings. So he's turned into a great bullpen arm. It's just going to be interesting to see how he transitions back to that starter role. Yeah,
I wouldn't be shocked by the end of the year you see him back in the pen. I mean, a guy that has that, if he's that dominant in the pen, why would you sacrifice? I get you're paying him more, but I'd rather just lock down one of those last inning. I think that's more.
I mean, you still have Jordan Romano for your closer spot, though.
He's out of there. he's with the Phillies now.
You're right. He is with the Phillies now. So yeah.
So
And I mean, you never know if somehow Ricky Tiedemann finally stays healthy.
he's out all this year, but yeah, he's back next year. I mean, they have some prospects. Like obviously Tiedemann will be back, and then also they got like that Trey Savage they drafted. I think he'll be really nice once he's up. And I think he'll be up pretty fast. Like I don't think this year, but I could see him definitely next year. So their rotation's gonna be good. It's gonna be solid. It's gonna come down to the lineup. You know, like you gotta find a way to keep Vladdy. I think. I mean, I'm sure we'll talk more about Bregman and Alonso more, but like adding one of those two to the lineup it's tough to see. If would you say if they add one of those two, would you say they have like the second best odds at winning division? Third?
I'd say third, probably.
Third? Like Yankees?
I like the Red Sox.
I do too.
This year, I like the Red Sox this year. We'll get to that obviously in a couple weeks when we do our win over under and stuff, but I'm liking the Red Sox this year.
Yeah. I mean, you got the Orioles, and then like the Rays will probably be good. So like they always man.
It's a good division.
Yeah, it's too hard to call. It's too hard to call right now. But I agree.
Now though, let's get to the best team in baseball. Who we did our Roki Sasaki episode a couple weeks ago, and then like a day or two later, the best closer on the market, Tanner Scott, signs a 4-year, $72 million contract to go there, and then just a couple days ago they signed Kirby Yates to a 1-year, $13 million contract to just make this bullpen, which was already incredible, even more insane.
Yeah, I mean, what is there even to say for the Dodgers at this point? I mean, like, I still, like we said in the last episode with the Dodgers, like, I don't hate them because anybody else could be signing these guys, you know? Even though, on the other hand, like, Tanner Scott was offered more money and more years from...
Even the closer in the Red Sox. For Boston, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, that would have been nice, you know? But then taking that, I'm like, man, that's annoying. But, like... I get it, man. You know, you're going to get a lot of money. You're going to go there like, God, if they don't get a ring with this team, Jesus, man. You know, like, I mean, what's their weakness now? Is it their lineup?
I don't know. You could say the lineup's the weakness. Because the lineup's filthy, too, as long as, I mean,
they're healthy.
Look at that 1 through 9, and I think probably every batter, they're 1 through 9. I probably like every single player.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think there is. I don't think their lineup is. I wouldn't say it. I don't know if they're top 3 in baseball, but I think that's not saying much. You know, I think you look at the Phillies lineup. You think of, the Mets, the Rangers. There's some great lineups in there. I mean,
yeah, but also Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, Muncy. Will Smith, Teoscar Hernandez. Don't you dare hate on Muncy. He is so good at baseball.
He hits bombs.
And he has elite plate discipline. He doesn't K.
Yeah.
He hits bombs and he walks at an amazing amount without striking out.
Isn't he coming off surgery? Like a big-time injury? Because I remember he got hurt. Didn't he get hurt last year?
No, he played all through the playoff run.
Did he?
Yeah.
I swear he missed time. He did something with his hands.
Yeah. He didn't play until the back half of the season.
Yeah. He's 34, so he's getting up there. I mean,
I like Andy Pages. Tommy Edman's good.
Yeah. That is a pretty good squad. I can't lie. I know. I'm just trying to talk him down. Everyone's talking him up.
You had Tanner Scott, easily the best closer on the market. He was dubbed the Ohtani Slayer based on what he did to Ohtani in the playoffs. Ohtani went, I think, 1 for 9 against him is all.
Yeah.
And it was a single.
And now you got him, so he doesn't have to worry about it. Yeah.
Tanner Scott, elite fastball, wipeout slider, is good in the close role. We saw when he transitioned to the Padres last year. And then you have Kirby Yates, who old as hell. Old as all hell, yes. But last year with the Rangers, they took a flyer on him. He used him as their closer. I think it was a 1.17 ERA.
Yeah.
33 saves. Just not giving up runs. He was looking back to that 2019 form we saw with the Padres. He was amazing. Now, yeah, you have Tanner Scott as your closer, Blake Trinan, Kirby Yates, Evan Phillips, and that's just four back end guys that you all have in your own bullpen.
For sure. And they still have Kopech, correct?
Yeah, oh, I didn't even mention. Yeah, you still have Michael Kopech.
He could be a monster for them. He was awesome with them when they trade for him. Like he could honestly be their best. I mean, obviously Scott's gonna get the closer role because he's him. But yeah, like you said, like they're so deep.
That's five guys. We talked about how the rotation has injury problems. You don't need them to go more than 5 innings a start.
Never.
They have
not anymore.
Insane bullpen that could be like probably a better team. I could easily see them having a better team ERA than the Guardians did last year out of that pen.
I mean, I think that's the question. Who's got a better pen? It's tough. I mean, it's hard. I mean, who they added Seawald, right? The Guardians.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
So that'd be interesting. I mean, their bullpen was already good last year, and he obviously sucked last year.
It's disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's was there one you would put on top compared to the other?
It's close. It's like I just think as much as I hate to say it, I think I have to go with the Dodgers because of those 5 names we just said: Tanner Scott, Michael Kopech, Blake Trinan, who in my eyes is one of, if not the nastiest pitchers in baseball.
Yeah.
And then you have Evan Phillips, who we've seen him in the closer role, disgusting. Even last year when he got moved back to the 7th, still disgusting.
Oh yeah.
And Kirby Yates too. They just had this.
But Alex Avila guy, he's pretty good too.
Alex Vesia.
Vesia, yes.
He's a lefty.
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
it's stupid.
Oh yeah, I mean they got an all-star team on their hands. It's gonna be. It sucks to be like the Diamondbacks. It sucks to be the Padres. I mean, it sucks. Sucks to be the Rockies. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sucks to be the Rockies. I mean, God, dude.
105 games this year.
Oh God, yeah, you guys be pushing the Sox, man. It's gonna be interesting. I don't know.
Hey, we're having a battle for worst team in the league. Probably with the Marlins too.
Yeah. You're not wrong. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It sucks because like we're just saying, how good the Dodgers are. Like a team like the Diamondbacks made so much improvements this year to a team. You're like, if they were in any other division, like, oh, they're the favorites. It's funny that the Diamondbacks are probably a top 10 team in baseball when you look at them, but they aren't even favorites for their own division.
They're like the Dodgers, then the Diamondbacks, and they're in the same division.
Yeah, that's wow. So you put them number 2 in the power rankings?
In the division, yeah.
Oh, well, I'm talking in general. I'm saying.
Oh no, not in baseball.
Top 10 though? Would you put them?
Yes, I do agree. They're top 10, especially with adding Josh Naylor and Corbin Burns. I think they're definitely a top 10 team going into this season.
For sure. Oh, for sure. I mean, I know we're speaking about that division, how it sucks. You talk about the Padres, how they're kind of turning into a whole garbage fire. What's up with Michael King, man? What's going on with him?
And just the new owners, the widower of Seidler, and now the brother all fighting publicly, calling out. The brother called out the widower for them. That's why they didn't get Roki Sasaki.
Man, God, dude, I know, and they're screwed.
And the Giants aren't a bad team either.
No,
it's 4 good teams, then the Rockies, and then it's the Dodgers and everyone else.
Oh, yeah, I know. It hurts. I could imagine being a Giants fan. You just had Blake Snell. And
they got 3 rings in the last decade.
You're right. What are we talking? Yeah, they're fine. I mean, it's just the 2020s, though. Dodgers 2020s. It's gonna be remembered. It's gonna be like the Babe Ruth Yankees. You know what I mean? It's just gonna be like
the
that.
90s Yankees.
Yeah. I know. But
Also though, we do want to touch on is Ryan Presley got traded from the Astros to the Cubs to become the Cubs' new closer. Presley obviously got moved out of his closer role when they signed Josh Hader last year, and he had a full no trade clause, and they offered it. It was reported about a week ago by now. He mulled over it for a couple days, and finally he decided, I'll waive the no trade clause, go over to Chicago, become the closer, and then in return the Astros get minor league reliever Juan Bayo, who threw about 90 innings in A-ball last year, had 91 strikeouts, so who knows exactly what they're getting from that. And the Astros are getting off of 8.5 of Presley's $14 million contract this season.
I think it was a great move for the Cubs. I mean, their biggest weakness right now is their bullpen, and they didn't really do anything to help it before Presley, I mean, he's coming in, he's going to be your for sure closer because it's either going to be him or it'll be Hodge, right? And then
it's Presley.
Yeah. And then like Pearson was like another guy. So like you didn't really have a closer. So now you got a for sure closer. Which like he was dominant, right? I mean, it was just like he was their closer up until Hader, correct?
Yeah.
For the Astros.
30 saves a year easily.
Yeah. I mean, he's a little older though now, right? He's like 35, 36.
Yeah, but you have him. Yeah, you're only paying him $6.5 million to be a closer.
For sure. I think that was a great move for him.
$5.5 million.
Is it for 1 year left? Does he only have 1 year left, or does he have multiple years?
If I remember correctly, he has one more year after this. I think it might be a team option. Let me make sure, though. He is signed through. He's a free agent. Okay, no. So it's the last year on his deal. Well, no,
okay.
Yeah. Last year on his deal, then he'll be a free agent.
I don't think that's bad though, because he could be an easily guy that could blow up, I mean, being an age and stuff like that. But like looking at it right now, I think that's a great move for the Cubs. I mean, you just like attacked your biggest weakness. I mean, like I think this move, I think before this move they are already probably favorites in the NL Central, but I think that helps them even more now. I mean, I don't think their bullpen's like this is like the savior for their bullpen, but like I think that this is a huge help. You know what I mean? Like a must needed player to be added. And like cheap.
Yeah, for cheap. 1 year, $5.5 million. That's extremely cheap for a closer, especially in today's day and age. And they've now traded with the Astros twice this offseason. And it seems like they've easily won both these trades, assuming they can re-sign Kyle Tucker or they win the World Series this year.
Yeah.
But assuming they can lock up Kyle Tucker long term, it seems like they had two very good trades, at least on paper, with the Astros this offseason.
Would it be a loss of a season if they don't? Like, would it be a loss of the deal if they don't sign? So the only way it's a win is if they win the World Series or they re-sign Tucker?
Are you talking about for the Tucker trade?
Yeah, Tucker trade. Would they be winners?
Yeah, you need to either be able to re-sign him or win the World Series. Kind of like with the Yankees and Soto.
Yeah.
It was good to get him for the 1 year, but you also gave up some good pieces like we saw with Michael King last year.
Yeah.
And then you weren't able to retain him, and now it's not great.
No, for sure. For sure. I mean, yeah, they're kind of stuck. I mean, you talk about the Yankees, but, I mean, the Cubs, yeah. I mean, I could definitely see them letting him walk. I don't think that... Too. And it sucks because it's like, dude, like that's the guy you go and keep. That's who you give your big bucks to.
Tucker.
30-30 candidate every year. 40-40 if he's healthy. Like it's not out of the question, out of the realm.
I mean, I don't know if he's swiping that many bags, but
I mean, his career high. Isn't he like 35, 36 maybe? I mean, I guess he's older now.
I didn't know he was swiping bags like that.
Let me look right now. I'm fairly confident.
Yeah, he's obviously a shoo-in. As long as he's healthy, he's going to get you 30-plus bombs. One of the best just pure hitters in baseball because not only does he have all this power, he will hit for average as well.
I lied. It was 30 stolen bases, his career high. But still, that's a lot of stolen bases.
I know, that is. That is.
And, like, you talk about, like, Juan Soto. Like, I'm not saying Kyle Tucker's Juan Soto, but, like, he's pretty close. You know what I mean? Like, he's like...
Oh, I want to know. If we're just, like, strictly talking about position players in baseball... Kyle Tucker is, without a doubt, a top 10 position player in baseball in my eyes.
For sure. Oh, yeah, without a doubt. I mean, he's 5'2". He's a great defender. Like, Soto doesn't have that under his belt. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how you let a guy like that walk. And, like, they already did the thing with arbitration. Like, they had to settle on a deal. And it's like, dude, like, how are you getting cheap when it comes to Tucker, man? Like, I mean, you look at their outfield this year, you could argue that they have the best outfield in baseball. I mean...
Cubs?
I mean, you got Kyle Tucker, great star. That's a star right there. Then you got, I mean, that Pete Armstrong. The second half of the year, like July, like after the All Star break on, he hit like almost like he had an over an 800 OPS. You know, he swipes a ton of backs, hit almost like 290 something. Monster. Ian Happ, I'm not as high on, but like people, he's still gonna hit you.
I like it. No, Ian Happ's a good baseball player.
He K's a ton. He K's a
really
ton.
good defense. Who cares? Everyone K's a ton.
But you know who else I forgot about? Seiya Suzuki. Dog. You know what I mean?
He's now their DH because he is horrendous in the field.
Yeah, but like
Ian Happ wins Gold Gloves basically every year in left field.
That's what I'm saying though. Like that whole department though, like one goes down, I'm sure he'll just step in. I'd be like, I think you could argue they have one of the best outfield rooms in baseball.
Yeah, I'm not as high on Pete Crow Armstrong as a lot of other people are. But I see what you're saying. I think will be like a good defender because I mean he's got the speed.
Yeah,
it seems like,
I don't think he's no all-star, but I agree.
I don't think his bat will ever get to like that high of a ceiling. Like I don't know if his floor will be like too low.
Yeah,
but I also don't see him being like that much of a prowess offensively.
It'll be interesting to the Cubs because, like, I mean, I don't know if they're really going to be in on the Bregman sweepstakes. I don't think they are. But, like, it'll be interesting because they, like, obviously, like, Armstrong, he was up last year. But, like, they still have that Moises Basterios is going to be coming up soon.
Moises Ballesteros.
Yes, I don't know how to say names. You know this. And that Brian Shaw, correct? Matt Shaw.
Who is one of the favorites for Rookie of the Year this year.
Yeah, I mean.
You have him at third.
Sure.
You have your boy.
My boy.
At first, Michael Bush.
Michael Bush. Yeah, that's a good roster, dude. This could be a very good roster.
Cubs are a good team. I would agree they're probably the favorites in the NL Central.
You know what's another move that they made that's kind of like under the radar? Is Matt Boyd. Like, I think that was a sneaky good signing. Like, I mean, it was like $19 million a year he got for 2 years or something like that. Not bad. Like, if he's your number 3, number 4, like, I don't think he's not gonna blow up in your face.
I don't think so either.
Yeah,
I think you'll get. I don't expect anything crazy, but I think you get like a 3.7, 3.6.
Yeah, he's not gonna be a Cy Young or All Star.
Like 40, 150 innings.
So he'll be solid. Yeah, he's gonna just eat innings for you, and like it's in that division. That's all you need. I mean, I don't know if you saw today with the Reds and all that, with Luis Robert and all that stuff, but like I don't know how
Red Sox.
Red Sox. No, the Reds. You see that today?
The Reds.
It was the Reds.
I'm thinking it was the Red Sox. Yeah, I saw.
Because Slater. Yeah, because
that's
Slater.
Right.
So like I don't know if they end up starting that back up, but like Reds right now, like they could be an okay team. I think they're gonna be good, but then you look at the Pirates and the Brewers, like they didn't get really much better. So I mean, I think the Cubs are kind of front runners in that division for sure.
I would agree because the Cubs are probably front runners, and the Brewers shocked everyone last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, the Reds, I think, are a sneaky team.
Mm-hmm. They could be frisky. They could be frisky.
They're a little frisky because they have a lot of these young talents who, some of them, I think, could be really good. You just need to actually see them perform and actually stay healthy as well.
Did they make any notable additions in free agency at all? No.
Nothing notable.
That's kind of disappointing, honestly, because I
agree.
Like you said, they got a lot of young talent. Like I think you got to pair that with some veterans. Like they seem like one of those teams that one of those years, like maybe it's this year, maybe I'm just a hater, but like you just go shoot up and be like an Orioles or something. Like you can see that with the talent that's on that team. You know, between like Steer, obviously you got De La Cruz. Who am I thinking of? Matt McClain,
last year. He had an amazing rookie year. Just all last year, he's great. I mean, TJ Friedel's pretty good in the outfield. You got Noelvi Marte coming back from suspension. You know, he didn't look great after last year. And CES, Christian Encarnacion Strand.
Yeah, he hasn't really had a.
He didn't look great last year, but then he was also injured like the entire season.
Yeah, he's young. So, like, I can see them being a shocker in that division. But, like you said, I think the Cubs they have to be favorites going into the year. So.
Yeah, they should be, and adding Ryan Presley definitely helps out this back end of the bullpen that has been notoriously weak, especially these last couple of years, as they've been kind of floating around mediocrity and trying to like get back to the dance.
Yeah. Maybe it's a 1 year thing, maybe not, but I'm hoping. I'm hoping for the Cubs.
Okay, yeah, so yeah, we've mentioned these names a couple times. This is the last thing we're going to touch on in this week's episode. Alex Bregman and Pete Alonso, they're the last like two big free agents remaining. There's reports coming out every day about this team or this team. Well, let's start off with Bregman. What are your thoughts on Bregman going forward as spring training's just a couple weeks away now? Where do you think he really ends up in like possible suitors and stuff like that?
Bregman's different for me compared to Alonso because I think he's going to get the most money. You know, I think he's going to get more money than Alonso, obviously, I think. He hits me as a guy, I could see him ending up with a team that, like, isn't in the race right now. Like, a team that I was thinking of, like, that earlier, like, they've been kind of rolled out, but it's like, I could see him, like as a Yankee. Like, it's interesting because...
I can, too. I don't know. The Yankees, it seemed like at the start of the free agency, it was either they were going to trade for Arenado or sign Bregman. And they haven't really been heard from since.
Yeah. Like, you look at, like, the Yankees and, like, okay, like maybe earlier on in free agency you don't sign him, but like I think his price is getting cheaper. You know what I mean? Like if he wanted to be a Blue Jay, if he wanted to be a Red Sox, if he wanted to be a Tiger, he would have already signed that deal. You know, he's not going to be getting any more money. So like I could definitely see him being a Yankee. I mean, like I get like people are like, oh, the declining bat. You know, like his numbers are going down, but like. At the end of the day, still like he's still a great defender. His numbers are still like if that was your third baseman, like that's a great third baseman. You know, like yeah, okay, the back half of that deal is gonna be interesting, but like if I'm the Yankees, like yeah, you lose Soto, but like you add Bellinger, you add Bregman, and you add Fried. Like that's a great rebound, I think, if you get rid of Soto. You know, so I think it'll be interesting. I think like we said, like those three teams, I think they could very well be in play too. But I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, speaking of him, like you would think maybe he would have signed already because it's not like he's going to offer more money. You got to remember who his agent is.
That's true.
It's Scott Boras.
Yeah.
And we've seen it, especially these last couple of years. He tries to get every single penny he can, and it's resulting in these players not signing until spring training already starts or right before. And maybe end up taking less money or a shorter deal than what they would expect. It seems like I think the Tigers would be a really good spot for him. Get him in that lineup. You could play him at third because I mean right now you're playing like an Andy Ibanez or like a Matt Vierling or something who those aren't everyday really players. Like you can put Bregman there at third, have that locked down. Upgrade already. Then you'll have those guys to be more of your utility guys, and then the Astros we've seen. Everyone thought they were out on him at the start of free agency. Then it just seems like they're still coming in. They've been offering him money, and it seems like they're actually going to come down to be one of the finalists here. Where, I mean, I don't know why you would trade Kyle Tucker than re-sign Alex Bregman. No. It doesn't make any sense.
I still don't see him landing there. You know, like where's he going to play? Like Paredes going to be there. You know.
Yeah.
Second, like I think I saw something like Altuve's like, oh, I'd move to the outfield if like Bregman would play second or something. But like, I don't know. I don't really see that.
In the outfield.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, so like,
I really want to see him on the Tigers though. I think that's great for the team that we saw make this miracle run last year. Really help. And their weak spot is their lineup. Yeah. If you had someone like Bregman who, while he might be declining, he's still. I know, obviously. America's a bad place to hit. He can still give you 20, 25 bombs and play very good third base defense for you.
Oh, for sure. And, like, you look at, like, I mean, the A.J. Hinch, you know, that's a reunion.
And the A.J. Hinch connection, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, you can kind of make it, like, a point for any of these teams. You know, like, I think numbers-wise, I think it would be best for him to go play in Boston, you know, like easily. I think
you saw what happened with Tyler O'Neill last year.
Yeah, like I think he would fit like a glove in there. You know, I think the Red Sox should be going after him very hard. I don't know why they aren't. You know, I guess I get it because you got Casas and you got Devers, but like even still, I get it. But like, yeah, I mean, I think you're right.
I mean, you could I guess slide him at second.
Then you got. What's his name?
One of the top prospects of baseball who looks like he's amazing.
Yeah, that he's coming up soon. What's his not Christensen? You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly who you're talking
Yeah.
about. I drew a blank on his name too.
Yeah, some with a C. But you got him coming up.
Christian Campbell.
Campbell. Yes. So like, I guess I kind of get like them not going after him. So like, I feel like you said, I think the Tigers are the favorites. I mean, and maybe the Blue Jays if they outspend everybody.
Apparently, the Blue Jays have offered him a contract just yesterday. So
I mean,
we'll see with that.
yeah. I mean, the Blue Jays are gonna have to offer the most money because no one wants to go play in Canada. No one wants to live in Canada. That's just
Well, Andrew lose a lot of money playing in Canada.
yeah.
They have to
100%.
offer more money because you're getting taxed even more.
Oh yeah, you're getting yeah, you're gonna be getting killed. So like, no one wants to play there. But like we were talking about the Blue Jays earlier, I think it would be interesting with him in the lineup. That would definitely make him a little more frisky. But
Oh yeah.
I agree with you. I think him as a Tiger kind of makes the most sense. But again, I would like to see him. I don't like the Yankees, but I think that would be a nice move for the Yankees to make.
I also think that would be a very good fit for them and help that team as well because you could slide Jazz back to second, just get DJ out of the lineup.
Yeah, no, yeah, he's got to go. He's got to go. And then
That would really help them.
what do you think about Alonso?
Alonso's, I think, interesting because he's trying to get a lot of money, team and a longer 5+ year deal. Teams are it seems like willing to offer him that right now. Like we've seen they keep having these talks with the Mets to go back to New York, and the Mets are like, we'll give you 3 years for $70 million, and then Alonso and his camp are like, no, I'm good. So I don't know. I mean, because yes, he is one of these better hitting first baseman in the league. He's gonna give you 35+ home runs a season, which
Sure.
is very valuable.
Oh yeah,
But it's not like he's a good defender.
it's first base.
I know, but you don't need to be.
It's like you're paying premium money for a guy that's he's only gonna do stuff with the bat. I get what you're saying. I mean, if you were to make a prediction right now, where do you think he lands?
His market's so interesting that I kind of just want to say he ends up back with the Mets.
That's what I was thinking.
And
Yeah.
takes one of these lower deals and then just ends up back in New York. Because
Yeah.
I think it's the right spot for him.
Yeah,
Keep him in that lineup and that city where he's thrived. And
For
then you
sure.
have him, Vientos, Soto. That's a good
Yeah.
lineup.
I mean, everyone was talking about he's gonna be a Blue Jay, and all that. But I feel like that would have already happened. You know what I mean? So I think as you said, as we get closer, if he's gonna take the 3-year deal from anybody, it would be the Mets. It's where his career started. The polar bear man. He just seemed like a lifer for Mets. I mean, the whole thing against the Brewers last year, the walk off. There's something about he's just got to stay a Met. I mean, it would be interesting what would happen if the Blue Jays did sign him. God, between Santander, Vladdy, and Alonso, how many bombs that's a lot of bombs, dude. That's 100 bombs right there. That's probably 100 bombs at least right there. So that would be sick. But
Yes, you could slide Vladdy back to third.
And that would be another thing too, because if Vladdy if you move him to third, then you're paying a third, but you make the idea when you're paying Vladdy, you aren't paying a first baseman $400 million. You're paying a third baseman, because then
$400 million.
yeah, so that would make it more reasonable in a sense,
At least you could think about it more rationally in your mind.
Yeah, exactly. I think that would be interesting for them, and I think that would be smart. I mean, obviously Alonso's a little up there in age, but I still think he's gonna rake for the way he plays.
Up there in age, I mean,
He's 32, 33.
yeah,
He can still do that for another. If you sign him to a 3-year deal, I think that's great.
yeah, and he could. I mean, he can still die. I think he's got a good enough 5-6 years of just hitting bombs.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that would be a great move for the Blue Jays. What does scare me is if the Angels swoop in. I can see that totally happening. And it would be so
Angels,
sad.
what are you doing?
Yeah, oh god, it could happen. I can just see it. Alert on my phone. Oh, he's a Angel, 7 years, 200 million. Like, bro, what just happened? You know, but
That would not shock me.
no, not at all. But it would make. I mean, I think the Angels are a little frisky. I'm not gonna lie, but no, I would not want to see that happen. But
Yeah, no, so yeah, we've talked about all these like big moves that have been happening. We still got these two big free agents left. We're only about 2 weeks now from when pitchers and catchers have to report. So baseball season's getting going. We're gonna keep coming out with this content for you guys weekly. Look out for it, and yeah, make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload. So, check out the website, theuntouchaballs.wordpress.com. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you all next time.